What's up, everybody? It's Billy Briz, aka at Getting Bills. Make sure you follow me over on Twitter. And this video is presented to you by Pub Sports Radio, Week 10 NFL DFS slate breakdown. In this video, we're going to talk about the top stacks, best point per dollar plays, and also a couple of things I'm eyeing up for the slate this weekend. But let's get right into it here. My favorite game stack of the weekend, obviously, is going to be the highest game point total of the weekend here. It's going to be this Buffalo and Arizona game here. You can stack this way any which way so possible. I like Kyler Murray the most this week at $8,000. You can put him in there with a couple of his pass catchers, DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, John Brown. And then if you're looking to stack it up on the Buffalo side of the ball, you can easily take out Kyler Murray and play the cover boy Josh Allen. And then you can also switch out Hopkins, maybe put in Stephon Diggs there, $7,500. That is my favorite game stack of the week. Is the Buffalo Arizona game. Not much to say really there. I think the quarterbacks there are the most optimal quarterbacks on the slate. And I think the second best game stack of the week here is going to be the Seattle and Los Angeles Rams game here. Not more so on the side of Russell Wilson here. I kind of like the value of Jared Goff there at $6,500. And then when it comes to the wide receivers for the Rams, you can play both of them. But if you're looking for the better play, I think the better play here is going to be Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp gets a good matchup here against Seattle's slot cornerbacks. He's just going to be eating out the slot this week. And I'm also eyeing up a couple of the Seattle wide receivers this week. I think Tyler Lockett is going to look better in on paper, but I kind of want to play DK Metcalf here at $7,600. DK Metcalf here, he's going to be matchup proof. This is a really good game spot. One of the highest game point totals of the week here. And maybe some people are going to shy away from DK Metcalf because they played Tyler Lockett last week. Who knows? But DK Metcalf, definitely the Seattle wide receiver that I want this week. So you can stack this up a lot of different ways. I also like Josh Reynolds as a cheap option in this game. If you're looking for a cheap player in this stack, I kind of do like Josh Reynolds. He's been seeing a couple pretty high amount of targets of recent, 9 in week 8, and then in week 7 he had 8 targets, 4 receptions both weeks back to back. And I think he's a viable punt option here. $3,500. I really do like Josh Reynolds. I don't think he's the best player in the slate, but if you're stacking up this game, like I will be, I do like Josh Reynolds here. And then I think the third best game stack of the week is going to be this Denver and Las Vegas Rams game. I think that I'd rather go with Drew Lock rather than Derek Carr here. Drew Lock has had over 40 pass attempts, I would say 3 weeks in a row now. So, man, if he can get this together and really use the pass catching options that he's been dealt with, like Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, Noah Fant. I know Albert O is probably going to be out for this game, and KJ Hamler also as well. He's also a good option in this game. I really do like Drew Lock here. His pass catching options, the ones that I just talked about. And then at the running back position, I can see running it back with Josh Jacobs at $6,500. He kind of burned some people last week. He didn't really get in there with that rushing he only got 1 rushing touchdown, but the 65 yards on the ground really killed people there. I played Josh Jacobs last week. I wish just a little bit more meat was on the bone there, but 13.8 points isn't going to kill you, but it's definitely not going to win you a week. But I definitely do like Josh Jacobs there. I can see running that back with him. And then when it comes to the tight end option, I think Darren Waller is the best tight end play on the board this week if you're paying up this week. There's not a lot of good tight end pay-up options. There's no Travis Kelce, George Kittle, or Mark Andrews on this slate. So I do like Darren Waller as the best pay-up option on this slate. And probably looking at a couple props for him this weekend. Also do like Noah Fant on the other side of the ball. With Albert O being out, this definitely solidifies Noah Fant's target share and usage in the passing game here. Definitely do like Noah Fant, $4,900 here on DraftKings. But my favorite studs on the slate, let's talk about that here. I think the favorite stud on the slate for cash games is definitely going to be Alvin Kamara here at $8,200. There's not a lot of good pay up options on this slate when it comes to the running back position. It comes down to him and another running back that I'm going to talk about. But Alvin Kamara kind of disappointed some people last week against Tampa Bay. Maybe some people may not want to go against San Francisco here, but San Francisco is pretty banged up here. I like Alvin Kamara and also the Saints defense as well. That's the one I got the most exposure to this week. Also, I do like Aaron Jones is another stud on the slate. I'm probably going to be full fade in Devontae Adams this week. Yes, full fade Devontae Adams this week from Billy Briz. I just feel like I've played Devontae Adams a lot this year. Definitely felt like I've got paid off. But some of the things I don't like about this Green Bay game here is the 25-mile-per-hour wind situation scenario, and then Luton's going to be going up in the Green Bay without Laviska Shenault. It would just be him, DJ Chark, Keenan Allen. I think this is a good game stack if you do want to go there, but I kind of want to go more with Aaron Jones rather than Devontae Adams here. That's how I'm going to leverage this spot here in this game. Reason why I don't like Devontae Adams, I don't think that he's a bad play, but if you look at the wide receivers on this slate, we have DeAndre Hopkins here at $7,700 at a much cheaper option, and we have DK Metcalf here, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Cooper Kupp, Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin is also one of the players that I'm looking to lock in to my either cash games or GPP builds this week. He gets a really good matchup here. $6,800 is a little bit too cheap for Terry McLaurin. He's kind of been on a heater, 2 touchdowns the last couple of weeks. And with Alex Smith being the quarterback here, that may boost up his ceiling here. 7 receptions for off of 8 targets last week for 115 yards and a touchdown. And then the week before that against Dallas, a great matchup. Scary Terry started off the year a little bit cold, but of recent he's been finding his form here, and I still think that he gets the job done against Detroit here. I know him FanDuel, he's definitely in my cash game lineup. But let's talk about the best value running backs of the slate. The first one that we're going to talk about is the free square of the week. I think he's at the bare minimum price here. I got to type in his name. Mike Davis. Obviously, if you are playing DFS this week, make sure you use the free square. Mike Davis, $4,000 against Tampa Bay. I know this seems like a bad spot for him on paper, but it's all about price here. The price, bare minimum price, and pretty cheap also on FanDuel as well. I love Mike Davis in this spot. He'll be filling in for Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey is out, and he will get the start here. I don't understand his price tag. His price tag, as you can see, was $6,700. So about $2,700 more than what he really should be. Mike Davis, $4,000 on DK this week is a smash spot. Also, with David Johnson being in concussion protocol this week, I love Duke Johnson here at $5,000 for the Houston Texans. One of the sneaky game stacks for me this week is this Houston Texans Cleveland stack here. You can kind of run a lot of different options here in this game, but it all starts with Duke Johnson. Best point per dollar play for me out of this game is Duke Johnson. He should get a full bell cow roll without David Johnson here. It would be interesting to see how they use the other running backs in the backfield. But the one thing that only concerning to me about Duke Johnson is back in the day, Duke Johnson used to smash his fantasy floor just off of just receiving yards itself. But Deshaun Watson's more of a person that likes to go to the slot wide receiver and the tight end rather than take the dump off option with the running back here. But I think Duke Johnson get the job done on the ground here. And then one injury situation that I'm monitoring for this weekend is Joe Mixon, and he's listed as doubtful in this upcoming game. I don't think he practiced on Friday either as well. So that pops up Gio Bernard here at $5,400. I don't think he'll be a cash game play here at $5,400 because he's going up against Pittsburgh, and there's just some other value on the slate that pops up just a little bit better. But I think Gio Bernard makes out for a good cash game floor, but a GPP option for me. He'll probably be in a couple of my 3 max lineups. It would be interesting to see how the field is going to play that Sunday morning. Gio Bernard should be the starting running back here. While I don't think he'll get the job done on the ground, he definitely get the job done passing, receiving wise, because I think Joe Burrow is going to throw a lot in this game here. I think with Big Ben being under center for the Pittsburgh, they should definitely wax the Bengals here. I'm trying to find Deontay Johnson because I like Deontay Johnson on the other side of the ball. I think he is my favorite value wide receiver this week. I think I'm going to play Deontay Johnson over Chase Claypool. Just the price difference here for me, $5,200 kind of doesn't make sense. He's getting a shitload amount of targets week to week when he's out there on the field. The only thing that concerns me about Deontay Johnson every week is going to be his injury history. He's always viable to get carted off the field, Will Fuller style. But I do like Deontay Johnson here. He's been healthy all week, $5,200. He grades out as my favorite wide receiver target here. Also on DK, Grant off of Miami. Grant for Miami is supposed to step in for Preston Williams here. He's at $3,000. I think that's bare minimum for the wide receivers here. And he's just a speedy slot wide receiver type of guy. And I think Devontae Parker may deal with some problems on the outside here, opening up spots for Jakeem Grant and Mac Hollins. I kind of want to go with Jakeem Grant. He gives you a little bit more for your bang for your buck here. Always big play upside Jakeem Grant here. Very speedy, fast wide receiver. One of the tools that I like to use is Player Profiler, and I can show you Jakeem Grant's profile here. He's already the Dolphins kick returner, so that just shows the type of speed that he has there. I'm interested to see what his 40 time is here. Yeah, he has really good 40-yard dash score. Best comparable to Trinidad Holiday, man. I remember playing with him in Madden. But as I digress a bit, also I do like Eagles wide receiver here, Jalen Reagor, as Travis Fulgham has been coming and emerging into himself. I think Bradbury is going to be on him, opening up option number 2, which is going to be Jalen Reagor, and we are not afraid to use Jalen Reagor. Carson Wentz has been airing out the ball this year, and I think Jalen Reagor is a really good play at $4,200. It would be pretty interesting to see what his ownership comes out as, but I think he's a good GPP option here. And let's talk about the tight ends before we get on out of here. My favorite tight end of the slate is going to be Evan Ingram. I think he's a really good play at $4,500. He's been just pretty safe these last 3 weeks. Daniel Jones in there. Philadelphia kind of struggles guarding the tight ends also as well. So Evan Ingram kind of pops for me here in this spot. Also on the other side of the ball, I'm not going to not name my boy Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert definitely – Carson Wentz loves targeting the tight end position. You can't really box score watch here. Kind of will lead you the wrong direction. Dallas Goedert just came back during that Dallas game. Not during the Dallas game, but for the Dallas game off of IR. So he's been coming along in his own. I think the bye week will definitely help him here. $4,200. I kind of like Carson Wentz. I'm playing him as a game stack. I have him and Dallas Goedert as a stack. And I'm going to run it with some other things over there. But also, I do like Hunter Henry. One of my favorite quarterbacks of the slate is Justin Herbert. So you can play him with Hunter Henry and Keenan Allen. And then you can run it back with Jakeem Grant. That's the run back there. And it sets up for a good game spot. That's the way you kind of want to look at these tournaments options here. And then also I talked about that Cleveland and Texans game. Austin Hooper kind of pops here at $3,000. $900. He just came back this week, so it would be interesting to see where he will get the full onslaught of snaps, because Harrison Bryant and David Njoku play pretty well. But I think Hooper would definitely will need to be relied on here because of Odell Beckham's injury and him being on the IR. So Hooper kind of grades out as the second best pass catching option for the Browns for me, right behind Jarvis Landry, but I'm more inclined to play Austin Hooper because the tight end scarcity on DK is very minimum. But that's about it for me for this video. One of the free tools that I like to use for single game and cash game lineups is dailyfantasyfuel.com. This is a free tool that people can use. This is something that I like to use if I'm just on the go real quick and I just want to see what I'm looking at for if I'm hand building stuff like that. So we're going to optimize here, and we're going to put in the 3 running backs I talked about. We're going to plug in Kamara, Mike Davis, and Duke Johnson. You can press the lock button there, and then you can press the optimize button, and then it optimizes lineups around them. So this one has Josh Allen, Kamara, Davis, Keenan Allen, Devontae Parker, DJ Moore, Darren Waller, and the Rams defense. I really do like that lineup. You can flip around, play around with this website if you're looking to just play single entry cash game lineups and stuff like that. I do like this website. That's one of the free tool websites that I like to use. And then also you can click the FanDuel section over here and press optimize, and it optimizes for you. So if you never used the optimizer before, definitely the easiest way to become a better fantasy DFS player is to use an optimizer. But if you're just feeling it out and you want to pay like $50 a month to use like a regular optimizer, like Fantasy Cruncher or like Lineup HQ or something like that, I would play around with Daily Fantasy Fuel so you can get an idea of what an optimizer looks like and stuff like that, and definitely transition your game towards that if you're becoming a serious DFS player. But before I head on out of here, let's hit the chat section. Good stuff, Young Billy. Shouts to Pump Sports Radio. And then Miles asked, should I trade Jacobs for Tyreek Hill standard league? No, I would not. I really do like Tyreek Hill. He's been coming along in himself. Somebody asked me a couple weeks ago, should I trade Tyreek Hill? I said no. He's one of the air yard leaders this year. So he's been absolutely smashing these last couple of weeks. So I would definitely keep Tyreek Hill here. Josh Jacobs isn't really one of my targets for the long-term playoff run for me for season-long leagues. But before I head on out of here, make sure you check out Pub Sports Radio. Use promo code Pub Sports Radio when you're going on mybookie.ag if you're looking for a book. And then make sure you check out the Rafael Dos Anjos versus Paul Felder card live stream today with the whole entire gang. We're going to be live betting here probably for like 8 hours straight up until from the beginning of the fights to the last fight. And we got some special guests here, and it's definitely a flip that cash type of day. Shouts to RDA, baby. Let's make this money. And I'm out.